Probably the number one thing is craftsmanship. I mean, from day one, that's kind of been my pet peeve, and today it still is. To me, when you're doing something and you're 100% focused and you know the way that it should be, and you're striving for that perfection and everything, that means you've got it. Up to then, you're just doing something. And so like students, when I have initially, and you're doing something, they're going through the process, it's like I'm killing them. But then when they see the end result and how smooth the project is and everything, I mean, it's incredible. And I tell them, when you look at a project, the first thing you do is you look at it, and if that project's any good, the second thing you do is touch it. And if you touch it and if it feels like glass, you're going to go back and you're going to start looking at it. What are the elements of this? Why do I like it type affair? Otherwise, if you touch it and it feels like it's, you know, you're feeling a dirt road or something like that, then it's like, well, forget it. You know, I don't really care.
It was funny because when I started at Pennridge, I thought maybe I would be teaching advanced courses because I had a lot of woodworking experience. And when I got hired here, they said, you have to teach the intro. And I was like, oh, yeah, sure, I'll do it. And I learned to love it. I love the challenge of teaching these kids to run machines they've never run before. Because at the middle school, they don't use the table saw and the abrasive sander and some of that stuff. And I just love teaching that and then watching them learn how to do it. So by the end of the year, when they're doing it all by themselves and they're showing me what they've learned all year with projects, it's just, there's just nothing better than that. Craftsmanship. Just develop a craftsmanship, and that there's a lot of things that encompass that. It's pride, it's a willingness to learn. As Alan would always tell me, if you want to get good at something, make 10 of them. And he's right. You know, you make 10 of something, now you change it each time you do it, you find a better way, you find a faster way, and then you share that with kids, and then you see them doing it, and that, again, it just all comes full circle, and that's the best part.
To do here now with the STEM program and stuff is make everything a little bit more deliberate. Go on the machines and have a purpose to the machines. Like we're getting a lot of brand new technology like the CNC router and the laser and everything that is precise down to the thousandth of an inch. So we're measuring down to 0.001 inches on these things and getting a little bit more technical, a little bit more precise with everything, and trying to use the technology to the fullest advantage for the project.
I think what I try and do is break it down to one thing at a time. I might look at it and see that there's 6 or 7 things that are wrong, and if I go 6 or 7 times, they're going nowhere. Where if I tell them, all right, do me a favor, go and touch up this and this, you see these mistakes? Yeah. When you're done with that, come back to me, and then we'll go one step at a time. If you go with these little steps, you can get to the end. Otherwise, if you overwhelm them, they'll give up and it'll be the end. That we build family heirlooms. What the students make in here down the road, their children, their grandchildren, they're going to want what they have, what it is that they're making. And every student on the bottom, I make them put their name, the year, the type of wood on it. And then that way down the road, you know, they'll know exactly, you know, this thing was made in 2024. Whoa, I can't believe it, it's 8 years old or whatever. But a personal note with that, my dad made a table when he was in high school, and it was supposed to go to my sister. And, you know, as far as who was supposed to get what when everything was inherited. And fortunately, my brother-in-law said, Alan, you're the one that should get that. And my wife asked me the one day, if everything that you made in the house, what's the one thing that means the most to me? The thing that means the most to me is that table that my dad made. It's not what I made. So these, you know, the students today, they have this opportunity. They don't know what's going to happen down the road. Because I mean, the stuff that comes out of here, it is good quality. You know, we aren't just slapping boards together.
We use a lot of math in measuring the wood and all, trying to figure out like how everything will fit together. Especially a lot with the rockers, we have to make sure everything aligns perfectly. And I mean, even with like learning all this stuff in math class, being in the class and actually like using like fractions and all, it's helped me a lot to understand like I can quickly like change fractions around and all a lot easier with this class.
Well, like, it's completely different than just sitting in a classroom and learning, because a lot of it, in my opinion, is memory and stuff like that, to where this you're actually like learning like hands-on skills, and it's a whole new ball game. Like, it's actually like technique and precision. Definitely a lot of math with a lot of measuring, like thinking about like what you're doing next ahead of what you're doing right now. I mean, making sure everything's level, stuff like that.
There's a lot of things that we did to bring that technology in. One thing we did was we spent an in-service day at the Northampton Community College. We went to see their fab lab and they showed us everything they're doing, and then we implemented it here. We had to do it a little bit differently because they have a big open space where they can just have all their machines in one giant lab and then rotate the kids through. We don't have that, but we have all that technology just in different labs. So we have a boatload of courses that kids can take and experience all that technology that they have in that fab lab up there at Northampton.
I'd say that there's a lot of like computing and math that we have to do too, because if you're gonna, if you were gonna use this wide belt sander or the one even in the other room, you have to take a caliper and you have to measure your wood, and then you have to take that measurement and it's to like 1,000th of an inch. So you have to go to the machine and you have to put like a decimal amount inside of the machine, and then you have to either hit up or down, and it takes it down just by a little bit, and you have to keep doing that until you get to your desired thickness. And you actually have to do a lot of different measuring for that, and it gets kind of complicated, but you definitely get easier as you keep doing it.
So the last time I took one, I was in 8th grade, which is 4 years ago now, but I didn't take any like hands-on woodworking courses until now, my senior year. So I took it now because the past 3 years of high school, I just took art classes like drawing and painting and stuff like that, and that's not my strong suit. I can't really do that well. And I just thought it was really interesting, because when I was in 8th grade and I did STEM class in 8th grade, I liked the woodworking part. I didn't like the computer design part of it or anything like that. I liked the woodworking part, and I could do that. And I like hands-on things. Well, it wasn't really like a sense of preparedness before I came in this class. You just learn it all right here. It's just really like a sense of good teaching, and he explains it all very thoroughly. And if you you'll learn how to use these machines. It's very easy once you actually get to the nitty-gritty of it. It's very easy.
Using different machines in here, depending on what the machines are, there's a variety of different things that we use as far as STEM. A lot of it involves math, especially geometry. And also a lot of it involves science, as far as trees and the way that wood warps and what you got to do when you're dealing with this panel and how you glue that up, how you prep it and do that kind of stuff. So there is a lot of science and a lot of math involved in this. And the students don't really realize that they're using it. They're just making a product, and then they have to pull from what they've learned in their other classes and bring that into here, and it kind of becomes reality on here.
Machines make everything easier, quick, doesn't take as much time to do it, especially the CNC, and more precise.
So you can use a CNC machine to do any kind of cuts or curves that you can't really do on a standard machine, and it does really fine curves. Like if you needed to do something that goes inwards, usually you can't use a big machine to go into something, but you can use a CNC machine like we did on the guitars to carve out shapes and to make pockets inside of things that you wouldn't be able to do by hand.
It helps with the design process. All of the projects we do, we have to make a packet for it and design it and put all the plans and all out. It helps researching different joints, different ways to make things. It helps you think a lot more.
I mean, I work in a cabinet shop over the summers. All they've been asking me for is, we need kids that know how to program. We need kids that know how to run the CNC, run the laser. And that's, if we want to get kids ready for industry, ready for careers and everything like that, they need to know these cutting edge technologies They need to know how to program these machines, how to operate them and use them efficiently.
And a lot of them now are working in an office where they're sitting in a room where it's air conditioned, and what they're doing is they're working in front of the computer. And if you're getting kitchen cabinets made or something like that, the person would design those cabinets on here, and then eventually it would be shot out there to the machines, and then there would be people that would take the boards, put it on the machine, and then the machine would do all the work. So a lot of the craftsmanship involved is kind of being left and more production type work. The craftsmen are still needed because there's always some job that needs something extremely special. So if you're the craftsman that you're involved in, you have some type of a skill, whether it's hand turning, whether it's carving, whatever it might be, you're always going to be needed. The CNC is not going to take your job away.
Yeah,
right?
At the very least, it gave me a passion for woodworking. I've been wanting to get a small shop at my house for a while, but I don't have the money. But I'm gonna go into engineering and definitely keep this hobby at the very least.
You get to like be able to put things together that like you'll buy in a store, so it's just like you gain so much experience and life skills that you can learn along the way.
I'm talking right now with Mr. A about like what I can do in the future, and Mr. Swartz about like where I can go from here, since this is going to be my 4th year next year, since I'm signing up for the not material processing, but manufacturing, wood manufacturing. And that's basically what we're doing now, and then a step up. And I'm going to do acoustic guitar building too, which is kind of a step up from electric guitar building. And I feel like that could be a pretty good career, since, you know, I like guitars, I play guitar, and I'd love to make them for a living. That'd be pretty cool.
I mean, I like woodworking. I definitely want to do stuff working with my hands, I want to try metalworking. Right now, I currently own my own landscaping business around my neighborhood. So, I don't know, I definitely want to work for myself and not be sitting at a desk working for other people.
Like a trade school. So right now I have in mind Pennsylvania College of Technology in Williamsport. Don't know what I'm going for, but some sort of trade, and I thought metalworking and woodshop would be like a good place to start, you know? Obviously, everybody in this room, like we're all gonna be homeowners at some point. So I think it's a good skill, like having some of this woodworking skill, because what if you have like a broken cabinet in your home or something, or maybe like a broken windowsill or something like that, you know, that might take a broken windowsill, like that might take a little bit more advanced woodworking. But you know, you still have the knowledge of what you need to do for it. You still have the knowledge of what you need to do, what type of tools you need. You know, I think it's a very beneficial course to take.
I mean, my idea is I really want to give the power to the students. I want to have the students have the knowledge of how to use each one of these machines. Like I said, the CNC router and the laser, those are the newest, shiniest machines that we have. Let them get control over it. Let them learn how to program these machines and make whatever projects that they want, because the possibilities are endless for them as long as they have the knowledge for that. Being able to use those machines, they'll be able to make some really cool projects.
One of the really fortunate things that we have here is that in our middle school program, the students in 8th grade, they're using the CNC. They're designing signs and things of that sort where they're programming themselves and using it. So when they come to the high school, they already know how to use the laser. They already are familiar with the CNC and what it can be done. Once you learn this, if this is what you like to do, there are all kind of jobs out there for you that you can do it. It's changed us some ways as far as time, probably more than anything, is that we can go and we can get more complex projects done in the same amount of time because of some of the machines that we have, whether it's the wide belt sander, whether it's the CNC, whether it's the laser, where carving a seat for the rocking chairs used to take about 3 weeks for a student to do it. Right now, we can carve it in probably 2 hours, and then they probably have 2 hours of sanding to do that. So it's helped us maintain quality a little bit quicker so that we can do other things, and so the learning experience becomes that much more vast.
Craftsmanship. Just develop a craftsmanship, and that there's a lot of things that encompass that. It's pride, it's a willingness to learn. As Alan would always tell me, if you want to get good at something, make 10 of them. And he's right. You know, you make 10 of something, now you change it each time you do it. You find a better way, you find a faster way, and then you share that with kids, and then you see them doing it, and that, again, it just all comes full circle, and that's the best part.
The biggest thing is to find out what it is that you like, what it is that you hopefully love, and go into it. Don't worry about what the money is. Don't worry about how hard it is to get that job or anything, but find something that you like. If I didn't like what I was doing, I wouldn't be here. If we didn't change what we were doing in here when we started the whole guitar stuff and all, I probably would have retired in around 2015, 2016, somewhere around there. That's what kind of gave me my rebirth type of fare. But be happy with what it is you're doing. Don't make it a job. Make it a passion that you have, and find out how you can take that passion to develop it and actually get an income from it.